Welcome back to the dark side of the road, friends. Dim your lights, kill the distractions, and let the rain do the talking for a while. Tonight's tale isn't one of those quick jump scares. This one creeps in slow, like fog rolling down a mountain hollow. It settles in your bones before you even realize it's there. So buckle up. We're heading deep into the Appalachians, where the roads forget their names, and the night remembers everything. His name was Alex Harper, 24, just graduated from Ohio State with a degree in environmental science that felt more like a ticket out than a calling. New job waiting in Sacramento. Entry-level field tech for a renewable energy firm. Decent pay, decent future. Decent escape from the Rust Belt winters he'd grown up hating. He'd packed his beat-up 2012 Honda Civic with everything he owned. Duffel bag of clothes, laptop, a box of childhood photos he couldn't bear to leave behind, and a playlist of old Springsteen tracks he swore would carry him across the country. The plan was simple: I-70 west to St. Louis, then south through Missouri and Oklahoma, pick up I-40 in Amarillo, and ride it straight into California like some modern-day Tom Joad. But plans have a way of laughing at you when the sky opens up. It started in West Virginia. He'd taken a shortcut off the interstate to shave an hour, a 2-lane blacktop that snaked through the Monongahela National Forest. Locals called it Route 219, but on the map it looked more like a vein than a road. The storm announced itself with a low growl of thunder that rolled for miles. Then the rain came down in sheets. Not a gentle summer shower, but the kind that makes you wonder if the sky is trying to drown the earth. Wipers slapped uselessly. Visibility dropped to 20 feet. The GPS spun in confused circles, then went dark. Cell signal had died 30 miles back. Gas gauge hovered just above empty. Alex's knuckles whitened on the wheel, heart rate climbing. He told himself it was just weather. Just a bad night. But the dark woods pressing in on both sides felt alive, watchful. Every curve revealed nothing but more rain-slick asphalt, and the occasional deer eyes flashing in the headlights like warning signals. Then, through the gray wall of water, a glow. Faint at first, a smear of red and blue against the black. Neon, flickering like a dying heartbeat. Midnight Motel, always open, vacancy. The sign hung crooked on a rusted pole, letters buzzing and popping in the downpour. Below it, the motel itself materialized like a ghost from the mist. Single-story L-shape of peeling white clapboard, windows dark, except for the office at the center. One bare bulb swung over the door on a frayed cord, throwing weak yellow light across a cracked parking lot. A single car, his, would be the only one there tonight. He pulled under the sagging awning, tires hissing on standing water. Killed the engine. Silence rushed in, broken only by the relentless drumming on the roof. He sat there a moment, breathing. Rain slid down the windshield in rivers. The neon reflection painted his face in shifting red and blue. He grabbed his duffel, zipped his hoodie tight, and ran for the office door. Inside smelled like wet cigarettes, mildew, and something older, like copper pennies left in a drawer too long. The lobby was small, linoleum floor curling at the edges, a fake fern in the corner, coated in dust. Behind the counter stood the old man, tall, thin as a fence post, skin the color of old newsprint, hair slicked back with something shiny, eyes too big for his face, unblinking, the whites showing all around the irises. He wore a faded cardigan over a white shirt buttoned to the throat. No name tag, no smile. "Evening," he said, voice like gravel dragged over concrete. "Room for the night?" Alex shook water from his sleeves. "Yeah, just till morning. Storm's brutal out there." The man nodded once, reached under the counter and slid an old ledger across the scarred wood. No computer, no card reader, just yellowed pages ruled in faded blue ink. Sign here. Room 13. Last one left. Alex glanced at the page. Dozens of names crossed out, dates going back decades. He scribbled his name and the date, October 17th, 2025. Handed over $40 in cash. The man counted it slowly, deliberately, like he was memorizing the feel of each bill. Check-in simple, the man said. No pets, no parties, and one rule, don't look in the mirror after midnight. And if something knocks, don't answer. You guys really sell the haunted angle around here, huh? The man didn't laugh, didn't blink. Stories keep people alive sometimes. He handed Alex a heavy brass key on a plastic tag shaped like a pine tree. End of the hall. Enjoy your stay. Alex walked the corridor. Fluorescent tubes flickered overhead, buzzing like trapped insects. Carpet threadbare, stained in patterns that looked almost deliberate. Doors numbered 1 through 12 were closed, silent. Room 13 waited at the very end, door slightly ajar, as if it had been expecting him. He pushed it open. Stale air hit him. Dust, old fabric softener, and that same metallic tang. Single queen bed with a thin brown blanket. Nightstand with a rotary phone and a lamp that cast a weak orange glow. Bathroom door half open, tile cracked. And against the far wall, a full-length mirror in a dark oak frame, carved with twisting vines that looked too much like reaching fingers. Alex dropped his bag, stripped off wet clothes, hung them over the shower rod. The shower sputtered rusty water at first, then steadied to hot. Steam filled the small room. He wiped the fog from the sink mirror, just his own tired face staring back. Freckles across the nose. Crooked grin he'd hated since grade school. Nothing strange. But when he stepped back into the bedroom, toweling his hair, he caught sight of the big mirror. His reflection was there, standing, towel in hand, but it blinked half a second after he did. Alex froze. Heart kicked once, hard. He raised his right hand. The reflection raised its left. Mirror image, normal. He lowered it. Same. Just tired, he muttered. Long drive. Eyes playing tricks. He turned off the bathroom light, climbed into bed, left the lamp on, tried to sleep. The storm raged outside. Rain hammered the roof like impatient fingers. Around midnight, the old TV in the corner clicked on. No remote, no power button pressed. Static snow filled the screen. Then faint voices, children laughing, a bicycle bell ringing clear and bright. Alex sat up fast. The static cleared slowly. Grainy footage. Home video. 1980s maybe. A little boy, 8 or 9, riding a red BMX in a sunny driveway. Freckles across the nose. Crooked grin. Waving at the camera. Same grin Alex had in every childhood photo his mom kept in the attic box. He stared. The boy pedaled circles, laughing, then stopped. Looked straight into the lens, straight at Alex. The smile faded. You're here now, the boy whispered through the crackling snow. Alex lunged for the plug, yanked it from the wall. Silence. But when he turned back, in the big mirror, his reflection was still sitting on the bed, staring at the blank TV screen, while Alex stood by the outlet. He didn't sleep after that. He sat against the headboard, knees drawn up, watching the mirror. The reflection watched him back, but slower. Always a fraction behind. When Alex shifted, it hesitated. When he breathed, it paused. He told himself it was exhaustion, optical illusion, bad lighting, anything. The knock started at exactly 12:03 a.m. 3 slow, polite raps. Alex froze. Hello? His voice cracked. No answer. He crept to the door. Peephole showed empty hallway, flickering light, shadows stretching long. He opened the door a crack. Chains still on. Nothing. Just rain drumming and wind sighing through the trees. Closed. Locked. Chained. 10 minutes later, Knocks again, louder, and a voice. Small, young, scared. "Let me in. It's cold out here. Please." It was his voice, but younger. The voice he used to have when he was 8, and the power went out during a storm, and he'd crawled into his mom's bed. Alex backed away until his calves hit the mattress, heart slamming. He didn't open the door. Morning came gray and heavy, rain still falling, but softer. Alex packed fast, didn't shower, didn't look in the mirror, grabbed his bag, and walked to the office. The old man was there, same spot, same stare. "Leaving early?" "Yeah," Alex said, voice tight. "Storm's easing. Thanks for the room." The man slid the ledger toward him. "Sign out." Alex scribbled quickly. The man leaned closer. "You didn't look in the mirror after midnight, did you?" Alex hesitated. "What the hell is this place?" The old man's eyes never left his. "This place burned down in '57. Fire started in room 13. Took every guest. 43 souls. Except one. A boy. 8 years old. Name was Tommy Whitaker. Trapped in the smoke. Couldn't get out. They never found his body. Just his bike in the ashes. Red BMX. Bell still on the handlebars." He pointed to the wall behind him. A yellowed newspaper clipping taped crookedly. Headline: "Tragic Motel Fire. Boy missing, presumed dead." Grainy photo below. The kid. Freckles. Crooked grin. Same eyes Alex saw in his own baby pictures. "He's still here," the man said softly. "In the mirrors. Waiting. Looking for someone who looks just like he did. Someone to trade places with." He starts slow. A blink. A delay. Then he learns your smile, your voice, your memories. Until one morning, you're the one inside the glass. And he's out here, driving your car, living your life, breathing your air. Alex forced a laugh. It sounded hollow. "You're full of shit." The man didn't answer, just stared. Alex ran, started the engine, pulled out fast, didn't look back. The neon sign shrank in the rear view, flickering one last time. He drove for hours. Rain tapered to mist. Mountains gave way to rolling hills. He told himself it was hallucination, sleep deprivation, carbon monoxide leak, anything. He stopped at a gas station near Charleston, used the bathroom, avoided the mirror. But at the next motel, a chain place off I-64, bright lights, normal, he brushed his teeth, looked up. His reflection blinked, late, and whispered, so faint he almost missed it, "See you soon, me." He drove through the night. No stopping. Gas stations, diners, rest areas. Every reflective surface he passed, the reflection was off. A little ahead. Smiling when his face was blank. Waving when his hands were on the wheel. He understood, too late. Tommy Whitaker had waited 68 years in the glass. Patient, learning. And now he had a body. A life. Alex kept driving west. California still waited. But he no longer believed he'd make it there as himself. Because every mile, the boy in the mirror grew clearer, stronger, more like him, and Alex grew fainter. One day soon, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, he'd look in a mirror and see nothing at all. While someone else, someone with his freckles, his grin, his memories, would keep going, living the rest of his life. While the real Alex watched, forever, from the other side of the glass. So if you're ever on a lonely stretch of road, storm raging, tires hissing on wet blacktop, and that neon sign flickers through the rain, Midnight Motel, always open, vacancy. Keep driving. Don't pull under the awning. Don't sign the book. Don't take room 13. Because you might check in as yourself, but you'll never check out the same. Pause. Long silence. Rain fading. A single distant knock echoes. Soft, polite, waiting. Thanks for riding this one out with me. If it crawled under your skin, hit that like. Share it with someone who's afraid of mirrors. Drop your own road story in the comments. No names if it still scares you. Subscribe. Notifications on. Next nightmare's already loading. And tonight, when you pass a mirror or catch your reflection in a dark window, just make sure it's really you looking back. Sweet dreams, or whatever's waiting on the other side.